Hey, church family, it's good to be with you again on this Thursday. I'm here to provide a word of encouragement. So, I just want to talk about how, no matter the circumstance, how God has a plan, how God is always using everything that happens for His glory, for His will. So, I want to take some time to talk to you about the book of Ruth. Now, Ruth, she was the daughter-in-law of Naomi. Now Naomi moved from Judah when there was a famine in the land, so something was going on in the land, kind of like how we're going through this coronavirus right now. But at that time there was a famine, so she went from Judah to the land of Moab, and so she went with her husband and her two sons. And what happened while she was there is that tragedy struck. She lost both her husband and her two sons, and so both sons were married. She told both daughter-in-laws to go ahead and go back to your country, but Ruth decided that she was going to stick around and go back to Judah with Naomi. So she goes back to Judah with Naomi, and we can see how God used this whole situation. So she goes back. She's a widow, and what happens is she goes there, and God uses the circumstance to bring her a husband. So she goes there. She follows God, could be by following her mother-in-law Naomi, and so she follows God and she trusts God, and God provides her a husband. And through providing her a husband, she not only did she get a husband, but she also got a son. But not only was that son just a regular, I guess you could say, son, if you want to think of it that way. But um, she gave birth to Obed, who actually became the father of Jesse, who became the father of David. So not only did she go through all this circumstance where tragedy struck, and things were bad, and she didn't know what was going to happen, but she trusted God and she went back, and all of a sudden now Ruth is now a part of the lineage of Jesus. Now, I think we can all say that's a pretty amazing story, because it's an amazing story. You have a mother and a wife who moves to a foreign land. Then tragedy strikes and she loses all of that, but then she gains a daughter-in-law, and then through the daughter-in-law, like, all of these things go along to provide blessing and also to be a part of God's plan of redemption. So I just want to encourage you through this time to say, hey, you know what? Even though we're going through this, even though we may not see the end game, God knows the end game. God knows when this is going to end. And I just want to encourage you to take time to just think about how God is using you during this time. God has a story for all of us. He has a story for us through this. He has a plan for us through this. Even though we may not know what that plan is, He does. And He will use that plan for His glory. He will use this virus for His glory. So I just want to encourage you to take time and just think about the amazing things that maybe God has in store for you. Even through the circumstance, through tragedy and upset times, and through times of struggle, how no matter what, we can always see that God is working in those circumstances. Um, and I just want to encourage you to take the time to just get closer to God. Like I said, we can't see what is in our future, but God knows what is in our future, and we know that His word says that His future is a good future for us. So no matter what we're going through, I just want to encourage you to get closer to God, read through His word, read through His truths. Um, there are a lot of amazing stories about the miraculous things that God does when He comes through for us. So I just want to encourage you with that today. I want to say just thank you for taking the time to watch and listen. And I hope that you also take some time to go ahead and just enjoy God's word and rest on His truths and rest on His promises. Thank you, church family. Hope you all have a great day.